What up, world? It's Eternal Authenticity, broadcasting live, and I'm doing a video now. It's just honestly about deep stuff. This page is all about deep stuff, but it's also about real stuff, real life, and everybody is going through something, and like deep down, everyone truly just wants love. I know there's different people with different aspirations and stuff, but for me, personally, you know, I'm here to have a family, to have a spouse, a wife, and, children. And, I've said this time and time again, it's pretty obvious, but at the same time, like, maybe when you're going through experiences, maybe just challenging times where stuff may not be so pretty on paper, or like you have enough. It's just at the same time you may still be very anxious, for what you're pursuing, and you may also be battling, overcoming disappointments, space from loved ones, disappointments from loved ones, relationships that didn't work out, all that stuff. And like you just have the loving memories left. And like it's a deep thing to be able to process and handle, fully. You know what I mean? Because like it's so easy to just charge at each other, jousting, fighting, jabbing, you know what I mean? Which happens so often in the planet, at the same time, like they say, love has so many different levels of it, it being deep and everything. And it's true, because I've ever since I went vegan almost 3 years ago, the purpose was for me to love myself and to have some real love, and I've been experiencing some, and it's only the beginning, honestly. And at the same time, like like the more sensitive and closer to you are, you become. I've become, and it's to where you really figure out what really matters to you, and you just become more emotionally intelligent. Like you don't have to be what they want you to be. You don't have to be something that you're not, and that's something I learned. I'm not a tough guy, to be honest. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? At the same time, like I've still been aware, and I'm still aware of how strong and powerful I am. And at the same time, I also learned, just to be healthy though, and to just do my own thing, to be honest. And that's what I'm doing, and like as I've been accepting myself, I've been able to learn how to accept other people, in a peaceful way. Yes, everybody has different pieces to the puzzle, and I guess that's what makes life interesting. You know what I mean? Because like, for instance, someone may be a super amazing athlete, but they just don't even care about plant-based living, veganism, animals, a plant-based nutrition, but maybe they're just an amazing athlete. And at the same time, their energy is what their energy is. But let's say maybe there's a plant-based, being who's vegan, and maybe they, I don't know, draw or something like that. They have that piece of the puzzle. We have that connection. And the athlete, maybe they're not plant based, but still they're really into fitness and they're in shape, but it's just like I've been able to learn how to see things for what they are, and, accept what is, and be peaceful about it, truly. Like that's the biggest thing I've said, because it's like we all had different pieces to the puzzle, and I guess that's part of accepting ourselves, is that like being able to come to peace and understand that, because otherwise, like, you'll constantly be almost turning in on yourself, hating yourself, stirring up unnecessary stuff, and like, that's not healthy. And that's why I'm glad I went vegan, because you learn, better emotional stability on how to handle things and to still keep your dream alive, especially like if you just went vegan or into this awakening thing and maybe it just is real gloomy on the outside and it seems like nobody else is doing it, nobody cares, and then after a while you stick with it and you see that other people are doing it too, you're that's what I'm going through, just a transition phase of just gathering the right people and just keeping my vision alive, writing my, you know, work down, and in the process of, finalizing it to publish it, stuff like that is like big moves. And like, you know, like I said, we all deep down want love. We all deep down yearn for love. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter how much this salary is or how much this contract pays, or like how big your house is, or you know all these different materialistic analytical things. Those are things are cool. It's just like on the most ultimate deepest level, the real level, that what really matters is like, to be able to share that with someone you love, aka a spouse, your family, your children, and you know even family members, relatives. And like I guess that's something that I've come closer to being able to understand and realize that, because you see that it is, like a test of not giving up on yourself. And that's why every day I wake up, I always remind myself, hey, long term marathon. I remind myself how young I am, and like that helps me to, you know, realize, hey, you still have a lot of living to do, you know, and that just because it all hasn't taken off yet, I can still be able to see the progress and the growth. And, I have notable memories and loving experiences and, just tangible stuff, to move forward with, and like I said, we have to be our own inspiration within, but also at the same time, we can have like mentors and coaches, and there's influencers and lights and guides and messengers, whatever you want to call it, that are older than us. Like I have maybe a handful of those, and they've inspired me to keep going on, because you see that there is levels of manifestation and that it is possible, and just to keep you sane, mentally healthy, because like maybe we've been on an interesting journey, ride, or whatever, and maybe other people, there might be other stuff in the world, whatever, but the point is like the objective is to really focus in, to still and quiet and calm the mind, you know, and that's something I've been doing and working on, to be able to be legit, to live a long life, to be free, and to just be able to have my own services, unique services to provide as an entrepreneur, which I'm work in progress and already doing now, and just being able to channel and cultivate that energy. That's basically what I've been doing. And, we get passionate about it. I get passionate about it because it's like you still value love. I still always value love and prioritize love. And at the same time, like I'm working on my dream. I've been able to just skip the club and skip a lot of stuff, just to work on my dream and to stay consistent and focused on this, and it's like just that whole understanding, what I mean, like of the prioritization of love, but also at the same time, like, deep down that, you have responsibilities and work to do and a plan or whatever. And, that's something that I've been introduced to, I feel like everybody eventually has to learn this somehow, some way, but especially whenever you start leaving the school systems and you get out more on your own, it's like your own unique quest for truth. You can read books all day and this and that, but at the same time, ultimately, there will be times where everybody on the planet will have alone time or whatever, and they'll have their time with the universe, God, the universe, Allah, whatever you want to call it, where they've, with their own self talk and their own meditation, whatever you want to call it, where they have their own answers and they find their own truth, their own, you know, gem, their own pearls, their own jewels or whatever, uniquely without a book or a TV or a radio or someone else, just on that deep level. And I guess that's why it's important for us to really know ourselves really well, truly. And that's something I've been understanding, and remembering and always keeping alive too, because we come across a lot of different people and, we always have to realize that nobody else is us. Nobody is me. You know what I mean? And like the fact that I know I came here to have a family and, I'm still putting together some pieces of particular projects and, you know, things may not all the way be where I see them, where I visualize them to be, I've learned to embrace patience and to be intuitive, that hey, the more that I truly am established and have to give, then it's there, and I guess that's what a lot of what I'm being able to express and share, coming from, a young man, you know what I mean? Going through that transition phase. Everybody's going through different stuff, going different ways. I'm just speaking on for the entrepreneurial, independent, free spirit people, authentic squad. This is who this is for. Like for people, hey, like you're well rounded. You love being healthy and whatnot, but at the same time, like, you want to live on your own terms and, you just kind of want to have your own thing, and like that's who I am. This different, like I said, we all have different pieces to the puzzle. It's just I'm in this whole thing. I'm like, hey, I'm not here to be on contract. I'm here to just, have my own boat, my own business and whatnot, which I'm building and understanding. You know what I mean? Like nobody's better or worse. It's all different. People have different ups and people have other things that people don't have. Nobody's superior or better. And I guess that's something I've learned with this whole thing. Letting, the ego, hush up a little bit, a lot, to be honest. Because, yeah, like I said, just the whole love thing is what helps remind us this truly, because it is the last hope for humanity, honestly. And, that's why I'm speaking about it because, the understanding of creation, family, having children, marriage, whatever, like that's some powerful, sacred stuff, divine stuff. And, when you truly stand for it and love it and honor it, you wouldn't want any of that stuff to go wrong or to, not go to plan or to be interfered with or toyed with or messed with. No, you would want to do everything in your power, legitimately to just have a harmonious, loving connection. And I guess that's what I've been working on myself for by just organizing my thoughts, my ideas, putting out content, producing stuff, and writing my ideas, writing my plans, and actually pursuing it, writing my work down, and just have my own unique signature content that I'm creating, outside of just the typical, robotic, whatever kind of lifestyle. I found myself to this position for a reason, was because, I knew that, hey, money is money. It's a neutral tool, to go pump some gas, to go get some groceries. It's money. Yes, there's free stuff here and there, homeless shelters, Food pantry is cool, but you know what I mean. Like, and some people just out of the kindness of their hearts, they're giving freely. But that's why money is neutral, a neutral tool, and that's something else I've been understanding better as well. Is that, and just have developing the mindset, the mentality to be able to be here for a long time and to have the mindset, the mentality, and the hunger to have some long term stability financially, emotionally, all that stuff. That's something I always remind myself every day, you know, aka loving ourselves, aka having our own vision of what we're into. Not everybody came here to play basketball. Not everybody came here to, you know, do what I'm saying? People came here to do different things. Not everybody came here to do the same thing. And like that's the point I'm making. Like we're not the same. And that's the liberating part. You know what I mean? Like that's honestly how I'm able to let go of fear because it's like nobody is me. You know what I mean? And I guess that's why they say nerds run the world. Nerds rule the world because it's true. Like nobody else is them. None of these people that, like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, nobody is them. They built these computer big gigantic services, Amazon, nobody's them. And I know it's super deep and common sense, but it's true because sometimes like this matrix, this system stuff or whatever tries to box people up, tries to label them, you know, whatever, and you may just have to really pull that fire out within, to show your true colors that, hey, I don't fit in. I'm not the same. I'm unique. There's no other clones. I have a valid mind. I have a mind of my own. Like, I know they say, oh, there's no meaning to life, this and that. But guess what? Life is worth living when you realize you're here to give it meaning and that you do have a calling and a divine purpose to fulfill, and I guess that's what I've been expressing, understanding, and sharing, because yeah, I've been through a whole lot, and that's why I'm over here being a lighthouse, to help people to stay up, because I'm helping myself with this first and foremost, you know, because like we already know sulking and complaining and moaning and groaning and depression, all that stuff, it doesn't serve us. It's easy at the same time, like, it doesn't serve us. And I guess that's why, like, mentors and coaches and inspiring people, whatever, we all make the world go round, to be honest. We all can bring light within each other because there's so much to do. There's so many places to travel. You know what I'm saying? Just from one small, simple setup of just having a gallon of water and the ambition to wanting to share with people, like a message and a build a dream or whatever, to realizing there's so many different services you can have to provide, as businesses, so many different countries and states and cities to travel to, so many different languages, so many different things to catch up with, maybe with a partner, a loved one who you might have had unfinished business with, some space from, because maybe, like, y'all just need that space because y'all was still working on each other, you know? There's so many things, you know what I mean? And, like, I guess that's why they say, like, what's really worth it, like, won't come easy, but it gets easier and easier as you go, as you, stay surrendered, you know what I mean? Because I guess that's why I say the higher and higher you go on the pyramid, the fewer and fewer people understand, because it's true, like, so that's basically what I'm sharing off of my heart and mind and soul. So, anyways, just sharing some deep stuff with y'all. At the end of the day, I truly do actually aspire to see people win in just a peaceful, more harmonious, freer, respectful, grateful world. So I'm working on that within myself. I'm not a pushover. I'm not a yes guy, and at the same time, I'm still not a tough guy, or none of the other monstrous stuff, like I'm me, I'm an OG. You know, me. I'm strong. I'm bold. At the same time, I'm still compassionate and kind. And like I've been able to understand that for the better so I can live a long life, and that's what I'm sharing with y'all for real. Because sometimes you may doubt yourself thinking it's cheesy or whatever, but then your mentors and deep down, what way you got to go, what's right or whatever. And I don't know. That's something I've been realizing. So, anyways, it's just some deep stuff for real. But those that get it, y'all get it. Thank you for supporting me. Like I said, my mentors that live really long lives and they're out there doing lectures and seminars and having big ceremonies and meetups and group stuff and this and that. Like that's something that I am inspired by and desire to do and see myself doing, way down the line where, we have time for each other. I guess that's the biggest thing that I'm ready for this year in 2020 is to have slow love. Yes, there's a lot of excitement, this and that, and at the same time, I'm the type that's like the turtle, smart, but at the same time, like I'm the one that's, you know, ultimately succeeding in the long run, and that's where I'm coming from. So, anyways, y'all have an amazing day, amazing night. Let me know how y'all feel, what's going on. Hit me up for health and wellness consultations. Check out the Instagram at Eternal Authenticity. I'm putting together a lot of other things too, so stay tuned. Have a lot of recipes, food stuff, some big stuff that's on the way. So, y'all check us out. Have a good day. It's Eternal Authenticity, broadcasting live. Peace.